Ladies and gentlemen, today we do not gather to hope, we gather to decide. Because once you've decided what you want, the next step is not waiting, it's acting like it's already done. Stop approaching life like a beggar. Stop crawling toward your dreams like you're not worthy. Maybe you are a force. From this moment forward, you must learn to act as if you've already achieved it. Your mind does not distinguish between reality and powerful belief. So feed it certainty. Speak your goals in the present tense. Walk with the posture of success. Make decisions with the confidence of one who already has what others only wish for. Definiteness of purpose is your weapon. You do not dabble. You do not drift. You don't look around to see who agrees. You make your mind up and you make your life match it. Burn the ships. Burn the excuses. There is no plan B. But purpose alone is not enough. It must be married with unshakable faith and ruthless action. Faith isn't just believing things will happen, it's behaving like it's already yours. The job, the body, the life, the empire. You become the person who has it before it shows up. How? By rewiring your inner world. Autosuggestion isn't optional, it's vital. You must speak to yourself louder than the world speaks to you. You must condition your subconscious until it submits. Say it, write it, see it, repeat it, live it. And when the world tries to contradict your belief, when the bank account's low, when the results aren't instant, you remain unmoved. The achiever is not controlled by circumstances. They are a master of emotion, not a servant to conditions. Let others panic. Let others doubt. You stay in state. You lock into the vision with ferocity. You persist like a man possessed. Because when you act like it's already done, you eliminate all negotiation with failure. This is not about arrogance. It's about alignment. Your behavior must match your destiny, not your history. And don't you dare keep people around who don't believe in where you're going. Clean your environment. Purge it. If your surroundings reflect your past, you're dragging weights on your ankles. Build a world that breathes belief. One doubt in your circle is one bullet in your future. So here's the truth. You don't need permission. You don't need a sign. And you damn sure don't need to wait. You need to act boldly, with fire, with certainty, like it's already done. Because it is, if you dare to live like it. You will never rise above the level of clarity you possess. Until your purpose is definite, your results will remain vague. This world doesn't respond to confusion, it bends to precision. You cannot hit a target you haven't set. You cannot win a war you haven't declared. And yet too many drift. Too many wonder why their life feels like a cycle, repeating the same struggles, the same disappointments, the same mediocrity. It's because they've never made a non-negotiable decision about who they are and where they are going. But that ends now. This is the moment you burn the bridges and lock your eyes on the destination. This is the moment you decide that nothing short of total success is acceptable. A man or a woman with a definite purpose is unstoppable because their energy has a target. They wake up and move with intention. They speak with conviction. They act with finality. There's no maybe in their mind. No hesitation in their step. No weakness in their voice. When you know what you want and you decide it's already yours, you move different. You walk through doors before they open. You create opportunities instead of begging for them. You command attention not by force, but by certainty. People can feel it when you carry a mission in your chest. They may not understand it, but they respect it. And more importantly, the universe responds to it. When your desire becomes definite, unseen forces begin to move. Ideas show up. People arrive. Doors appear. But none of that happens while you're still trying, still thinking, still hoping. Hope is for the weak. Definite purpose is for the relentless, for the ones who decide once and never look back, for the ones who make a demand on life and don't leave the room until they collect what they came for. You don't need to know every step. You need to know the destination and then walk like you're already there. The man who is committed fully doesn't need motivation. He's already sold on the outcome. He's already seen the vision. He's already living in the future. He isn't chasing success. He's pulling it to him by force of will. That's the secret they don't teach. You don't wait until it's real to believe it. You believe it until it becomes real. You don't act according to your current conditions. You act according to your destined conclusion. That's power. That's leverage. That's when your habits start changing because your identity has changed. That's when you start saying no to things that used to distract you because your purpose is louder than your excuses. That's when you stop explaining yourself because you know exactly what you're building. And those who don't get it, they're not part of the plan. Let them drift. You were never meant to blend in with the confused. You were born to dominate with the clear-minded. But clarity is not comfortable. It demands sacrifice. It means cutting off backup plans. It means saying goodbye to average. It means risking judgment, facing fear, and refusing to be ordinary. People will think you're obsessed. Good. They'll call you extreme. Perfect. They'll say you've changed. You're supposed to. Let them talk while they stall. You build. While they wait, you win. While they sleep, you rise. Because your purpose isn't a preference, it's a command. It calls you higher. It sets a fire inside you that can't be faked. And once that fire is lit, nothing else satisfies. Distraction becomes disgusting. Comfort becomes suffocating. You don't want ease, you want impact. You don't want applause, you want results. You don't care about being liked, you care about becoming legendary. That kind of mindset, that kind of hunger, it starts with a choice, a final, unshakable choice. You draw a line in the sand and say, this is who I am. This is where I'm going. This is what I will become, and I will not be denied. From that moment on, you stop entertaining options that don't lead to your vision. You stop seeking approval from people who don't understand your mission. You stop giving time to things that pull you off path. And every action you take, every word you speak, every thought you think becomes a weapon aimed at your goal. You move with precision. You move with purpose. You move like a conqueror, not a wanderer. That's what definite purpose does. It transforms your entire existence. It rewrites your story. It breaks the chains of past limitation. And it carves a future that bends to your will, not by accident, not by luck, but by fierce, deliberate, unstoppable design. Faith that isn't backed by action is just a fantasy. You can repeat affirmations all day, read every book on belief, and visualize yourself on top of the mountain, but if your feet aren't moving, your belief is hollow. Real faith walks. It speaks. It decides. It builds. Real faith does not wait for a perfect moment. It creates moments out of pressure. You say you believe in your future? Prove it. Show me in your discipline. Show me in your preparation. Show me in the way you move before anything even shows up. The person with real faith isn't waiting for validation. They're not waiting for signs. They act like it's already done because in their mind it already is. Faith is not a feeling. It's a posture. It's a choice to align every fiber of your being with a vision that hasn't yet arrived. It's walking into the room like you already belong there. It's speaking your dream in present tense while others laugh, while others doubt, while others shrink. Faith doesn't negotiate with fear. Faith doesn't slow down for comfort. Faith does not ask permission. It walks forward while others hesitate. It builds while others overthink. It moves while others wait. If you really believed the result was guaranteed, how would you act right now? That version of you, the one with the fire, the precision, the hunger, that's the one you need to become today. Not later, not when it's safe. Now, most people pray for change, but they don't prepare for it. They ask for a breakthrough, but their behavior says they're planning for the same. That's not faith, that's fantasy wrapped in fear. Faith is demonstrated in preparation. When you're preparing as if the outcome is inevitable, that's when doors start opening. That's when people take notice. That's when momentum becomes unstoppable. It's not luck. It's not magic. It's the law of alignment. When your actions are in perfect sync with your belief, you become a magnet for what you desire. But the key is, you don't wait until the conditions are perfect. You don't wait until the money shows up. You don't wait until the opportunity knocks. You knock, you build, you create. Because the person with true faith never expects life to hand it to them. They come for everything like it's already theirs. Faith is putting in the work no one sees, trusting that the result is coming even if it takes time. It's showing up when you're tired, when you're doubted, when you're ignored. It's making moves in silence because you know the noise will come later. You train like a champion before you're crowned. You think like a millionaire while your pockets are empty. You lead like an empire builder when no one is following yet. That's not delusion, that's power, that's conviction. That's how legacies are made. Every empire ever built began with one person who saw it before it existed and dared to act like it was real. That's the difference between winners and the rest. The rest wait for evidence. The winners move in faith and become the evidence. And don't mistake movement for motion. This isn't about busy work. This is about intentional action, bold steps in the direction of your destiny. You don't dabble, you dominate. Every move has a mission. Every step is strategy. Every moment is invested, not spent. While the world waits for the stars to align, the person of faith gets up before the sun and grinds until the sky changes. They don't hope for luck. They force results through consistency. They don't chase outcomes. They embody them. You don't become great by wishing. You become great by behaving as if you already are. That is the edge. That is the mindset. That is what separates legends from spectators. So when people ask why you act so confident, why you work so hard, why you're so relentless, you don't owe them an explanation. Let your results be the answer. Let your discipline be the proof. Let your future speak louder than your mouth ever could. Because when your actions scream belief, your future has no choice but to obey. This is not about arrogance. This is about alignment. It's about honoring the vision placed inside you by moving like it's real, before anyone else can see it. And yes, people will doubt you. Let them. Your faith isn't in their understanding. Your faith isn't based on the opinions of those too scared to try. Your faith is anchored in the vision you've seen with your own soul. The version of you that wins is not born from comfort. It is forged in fire. It's built on discipline when motivation fades. It's built on execution when results are invisible. It's built on trust that your efforts compound even if no one claps. You're not here for applause. You're here for victory. Faith in action is the greatest force on earth. It builds dynasties. It breaks limits. It bends reality to its will. It turns invisible belief into undeniable truth. And the moment you decide to act like you've already made it, that's the moment the world starts catching up to the future you've already claimed. You are what you tell yourself, and what you tell yourself is either building your future or burying it. The most dangerous voice in your life is not the critic outside, it's the whisper inside. If that voice is not under your command, you will never command anything in your life. The battlefield is in your mind, and the weapon is your word. What you say to yourself when no one is watching determines how far you'll go when everyone is. Success doesn't begin with action. It begins with language. The right words spoken with intensity, repetition, and belief can rewire the most broken mindset into one that dominates its environment. If you do not control your internal dialogue, the world will script it for you. And the world does not want you powerful. It wants you predictable, doubtful, afraid. So you must declare war on weak thinking, destroy mental noise, and speak yourself into the life you were built for. Repetition is power. Repetition is programming. You don't believe something because it's true. You believe it because you've heard it enough times. Most people are walking around under the hypnosis of past conversations, failures, criticisms, and labels they never chose. But you are not most people. You are not here to accept old scripts. You are here to write new ones. And you write them by flooding your subconscious with words that match your future, not your fears. Your current results are a reflection of past patterns. Your future results will reflect what you speak now, not once, not when you feel like it. Every day, every night, in the mirror, on the run, in the silence, until your inner voice becomes a weapon so sharp, so focused, so loud it drowns out every lie the world tries to feed you. This is not just self-talk. This is self-command. You don't ask your mind to believe, you instruct it. You tell it what reality is. You don't leave room for doubt. You leave no space for weakness. You speak your future like it's law. You declare your goals like they already exist. I am disciplined. I am built for this. I am a leader. I am unstoppable. I am the one. This isn't arrogance. This is programming. The world has spent years trying to convince you you're small, average, replaceable. But now it's your turn. You flood your mind with so much belief that hesitation becomes impossible. When you say something enough times, with enough energy, with enough emotion, your brain has no choice but to adapt. That's how you shift identity. That's how you evolve beyond limits. That's how you become the person who earns what you once only imagined. People don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they've been programmed by fear, repetition, and low expectations. They wake up and hear the same story in their mind. You're not ready. You'll fail again. Who do you think you are? And they believe it. But that voice can be broken. That voice can be replaced. That voice is not your truth. It's a script. And you have the pen now. You rewrite it every morning when you speak power into your mirror. You rewrite it every night when you remind yourself of your mission. You don't speak as a reaction to your current reality. You speak as a leader of your future one. That's the difference between those who drift and those who dominate. One waits for evidence to feel powerful. The other creates power through deliberate declaration. Understand this. Your subconscious does not argue, it accepts. Whatever you repeat to it with belief becomes its command. So why would you ever feed it defeat? Why would you ever speak doubt into the very system that builds your habits, controls your confidence, and defines your ceiling? That is self-sabotage disguised as humility. You don't play small to protect others' comfort. You rise so high that others are forced to rise with you. Your mind is waiting to follow, but it needs a leader, and that leader must speak with fire. That leader must speak like their life depends on it, because it does. There are no neutral words. Every sentence is either sharpening your edge or dulling your ambition. You must speak with intensity, clarity, and conviction until it is impossible for your mind to disobey your mouth. If you want to change your life, you change what you repeat. Not what you wish for, not what you complain about, but what you say with conviction every single day. You brainwash yourself with purpose. You flood your internal system with identity. You create certainty not by waiting, but by programming your inner world so deeply that nothing on the outside can shake it. And when you do it long enough, something clicks. You stop doubting. You stop hesitating. You start doing the things others avoid. You start chasing the hard things. You start behaving like the version of you you've been speaking into existence, because that's what you've become, not by accident, but by design. This is mastery. This is control. This is the art of turning thought into force. You're not here to live by default. You're here to live by command. And your first command is to speak like the life you want already belongs to you. Power is not found in reacting. It's found in restraint. The man who cannot control his emotions will forever be a slave to his environment. The woman who lets external events dictate her internal state will never be free. Your mood must not swing with the news, with gossip, with setbacks, with failure. Your energy must be rooted deeper than circumstance. Because if your emotions rise and fall with life's conditions, you are not in control, the world is. And that means your success will always be limited, your focus always at risk, your discipline always under attack. You don't conquer anything on the outside until you've conquered everything on the inside. Discipline is emotional control. Victory is emotional control. All high performance is built on the ability to remain calm when chaos hits, to remain focused when distractions pull, to remain aggressive when comfort invites. There's nothing impressive about being strong when things are easy. The real test is what you do when pressure spikes, when people betray, when plans collapse. Do you collapse with them? Or do you breathe, stand taller, and keep moving forward like nothing changed? The storm doesn't stop the committed, it reveals them. And your job is not to avoid the storm. Your job is to become the force that walks through it untouched. Emotional control is not pretending you don't feel. It's feeling everything and still choosing your response with precision. It's mastering the pause between stimulus and action. It's refusing to give away your power just because life didn't go your way today. Because if every time you're uncomfortable you break, then the world owns you. And that is unacceptable. You cannot afford to be reactive. You cannot afford to be predictable. You must be grounded in something greater than momentary satisfaction or temporary struggle. And that something is your mission, your vision, your identity. You act from that, not from emotion. Your emotions may visit, but they do not get to drive. You feel the pain and still keep going. You feel the fear and still execute. You feel the doubt and still lead. That's the difference between the ones who dream and the ones who dominate. Circumstance will test you. It will provoke you. It will challenge your self-respect, your discipline, your mindset. But if you are ruled by reactions, you are ruled by the world. If you are driven by emotion, you are driven off course. So you anchor, you reset. You harden the frame, you decide how to feel, you don't let life decide for you. Emotional maturity is knowing that anger doesn't fix things, panic doesn't prepare you, and fear doesn't move you forward. Only action does, only purpose does, only focus, only clarity. Your emotions are tools, not chains. Use them, don't wear them, channel them, don't chase them. The moment you let emotion control behavior, you've handed over the keys to your future. High performers are not ice cold, they are ice clear. They feel like everyone else, but they've trained their nervous system to respond, not react. They don't allow a bad moment to become a bad hour, or a bad day, or a bad identity. They interrupt it. They replace it. They speak power into their system and keep moving. Your ability to return to your center is your power. Your ability to reset in seconds is your freedom. The weak are prisoners of their moods. The strong are leaders of their state. They dictate their energy. They demand excellence even when no one is watching. They walk into the room and bring calm. They don't look for peace, they are the peace. They don't wait for motivation, they are the fire. They don't wait for confidence, they are certainty. Because they've built it. In silence, in repetition, in the darkness, in the hours no one sees. Where most let their emotions rule, they use their emotions as fuel. Control your mind and you control the game. Control your breath and you control the moment. Control your emotions and you control your results. This is not about suppressing truth. It's about mastering your reaction to it. It's about being so dialed into your mission that nothing pulls you off course. The insult doesn't shake you. The delay doesn't distract you. The challenge doesn't intimidate you. You don't need ideal conditions. You build under pressure. You don't need perfect timing. You move with precision no matter what. And while the average person lives at the mercy of how they feel, you live by the law of what must be done. That is the edge. That is the advantage. That is emotional control. And the best part? It's a skill. It's trainable. You can learn to master your state like a weapon. You can condition your nervous system to stay locked in when the room's on fire. You can sharpen your focus to remain lethal in chaos. You can get so good at responding from principle, from power, from vision, that nothing can trigger you, nothing can move you off purpose, not failure, not betrayal, not fear, because you don't bend to the world bends to you. Excuses are the language of the defeated. Persistence doesn't negotiate with them, doesn't justify them, doesn't even acknowledge them. Persistence walks through excuses like they don't exist. Because to the one who is truly committed, no excuse is valid, no obstacle is final, no delay is enough to quit. You either do the work or you don't. You either keep moving or you give up. There is no middle ground, no maybe, no waiting for motivation. Persistence isn't emotional. It's a decision made once and honored daily, whether you feel like it or not. It's not about being inspired, it's about being possessed by the outcome, locked in, immune to comfort, deaf to doubt. You don't reason your way into results, you earn them through unbreakable consistency. People who quit always have a reason. So what? Reasons are easy. Life will hand you thousands of them. But the one who wins is the one who refuses to give in to any of them. The one who decides that success is not optional, that quitting is not on the menu, that whatever it takes is not just a phrase, it's a lifestyle. Most people only persist when it's easy, when it's exciting, when they're being watched. But that's not persistence, that's performance. Real persistence is silent. It's lonely. It's the decision to keep showing up long after the applause is gone. It's doing the work on the days that don't feel worth it. It's pushing when the reward isn't near and the pressure is high. That's where the real ones are made. You're not owed results. You're not guaranteed success. You are only guaranteed the chance to keep going. And that's what separates the elite. They take that chance again and again until the door finally breaks open. It's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's about refusing to fold, refusing to accept almost, refusing to let delay be the death of discipline. The difference between you and the person who already has what you want is not that they had it easier, it's that they refused to quit when it got hard. They refused to back down when life hit. They were too stubborn to stop. That's what persistence looks like. It's not pretty. It's not glamorous. It's not viral. It's quiet, brutal, and unrelenting. Your goals don't care how tired you are. They don't care how many times you failed. They don't care how unfair the game feels. The mission doesn't ask how you feel. It asks what you're willing to endure. what you're willing to overcome, what you're willing to become. If it's truly yours, if it's really meant for you, then no delay will stop you. No excuse will seduce you. No rejection will break you. You don't walk away because it's hard. You rise because it's hard. You become stronger than your circumstances, louder than your doubts, sharper than your fears. Because nothing is more lethal than a human being who has decided they will not stop. And hear this clearly. If you quit every time it's uncomfortable, you'll never be trusted with the success you think you deserve. If you retreat every time the path gets dark, you'll never build the light you're meant to bring. You say you want it, prove it. Show me how you move when there's no spotlight. Show me how you grind when there's no cheer. That's when character is carved. That's when greatness is built. Every setback you survive becomes your advantage. Every delay you outlast becomes your edge. Every time you refuse to quit, you widen the gap between you and the ones who gave up. Persistence doesn't just separate, it elevates. It sharpens your edge. It earns you the identity of the one who finishes. And no, it won't be fair. It won't be easy. It won't be fast. But it will be worth it. Because when you build something through pain, through failure, through absolute refusal to break, no one can take that from you. No critic, no loss, no rejection. You become undeniable. Not because you were chosen, but because you refused not to be. You weren't picked. You outlasted. And that's the secret they never tell you. Persistence is the great equalizer. It erases privilege. It outperforms talent. It crushes timing. It outworks opportunity. If you're still standing after most have sat down, if you're still swinging after most have dropped their hands, you win by default. Persistence without excuse is power. It's the mindset that says, I don't need it to be easy, I just need it to be possible. And if it's possible, I'll figure it out. If it's possible, I'll find a way. If it's possible, I'll die before I stop. Because that's the commitment level required. That's the price. And most won't pay it. Most will flinch. Most will stall. Most will fold when the fire comes. But you light the fire. You feed it. You walk through it. Because you're not here to visit success. You're here to own it. Not once, not briefly, but for good. Your environment is either building your belief or breaking it. There is no neutral ground. Every voice you hear, every room you walk into, every piece of content you consume is either reinforcing your power or stealing it from you. You become what surrounds you. If you live in doubt, you'll breathe hesitation. If you live in average, you'll think small. If you live in excuses, you'll drown in limitations. But if you surround yourself with fire, with faith, with hunger, you will rise without even trying. That's the force of belief. It's contagious. But so is fear, so is weakness, so is small thinking. And the environment you accept becomes the standard you live by. So you better choose it with precision. Most people never break through because their environment is engineered for comfort, not greatness. They spend time around people who talk about what can't be done, what's too risky, what's unrealistic. They let doubt sit at the table. They let comfort run the room. And then they wonder why their motivation dies. But energy is viral. Passion is contagious. Belief is transferable. When you enter a space where the standard is excellence, your excuses feel out of place. When you surround yourself with people who execute at a high level, laziness becomes embarrassing. When you live in an environment that demands greatness, your mind evolves without permission. That's the power of alignment. It rewires your identity before you even speak a word. You can't afford to be casual with who you give access to your space. You can't afford to absorb energy from people who've never built anything, who've never taken risk, who've never chased a vision. They'll kill your momentum with one sentence. They'll wrap their fear in concern and call it love. They'll project their limits and call it advice. And if you're not intentional, you'll absorb it. You'll start thinking small. You'll hesitate when it's time to leap. You'll question your gut. That's how dreams die, not from failure, but from subtle exposure to environments that don't believe. So audit everything, every conversation, every influence, every room. Ask yourself, does this environment fuel my belief or feed my doubt? If it doesn't amplify your mission, it's a liability. Understand, this belief is not magic. It's built. Brick by brick, word by word, habit by habit. And the fastest way to construct belief is to live in an environment where victory is normal, where pushing the limits is expected, where discipline is celebrated. You build belief by proximity to strength. You build belief by repetition of power. You build belief by entering environments where your best is not enough and then rising to meet that challenge. You build belief by doing hard things in front of others, doing hard things, until the impossible becomes casual and the difficult becomes familiar. But belief must be protected. It must be guarded like a vault. You can't build belief all morning and then destroy it at night watching nonsense. You can't grind in silence and then pollute your mind with negativity, distraction, weakness. Every moment of exposure matters. Your brain is always listening. Your energy is always adapting. If your inputs are soft, your mindset becomes soft. If your circle is unfocused, you become unfocused. If your environment tolerates average, you will settle without noticing, so don't tolerate it. Create a space where mediocrity suffocates, where complaining is awkward, where faith isn't just spoken, it's lived, where every person around you expects greatness because that's the only thing they've ever seen. You weren't born to shrink. You weren't built to blend in. And you'll never rise while sitting in rooms that require you to play small. The environment shapes the frame. The frame shapes the focus. The focus drives the outcome. Change your environment and everything else will follow, but don't wait for it to come to you. Build it. Build the mindset before the moment. Build the room before the reward. Fill your world with words that sharpen you, with voices that stretch you, with people who tell you the truth not to hurt you, but to refine you. Build a life where belief is not an act, it's the atmosphere. If you want to live legendary, you can't think like the local crowd. You have to escape the gravitational pull of average, and the only way to do that is to force yourself into environments that demand more, that expect more, that normalize more. And when you do, the shift is inevitable. You'll start talking different, walking different, executing different. Not because someone told you to, but because you're now breathing a different air, a higher standard, a sharper edge, a louder frequency of belief. And once you feel that, there's no going back. You'll reject weak rooms. You'll leave behind low-energy conversations. You'll stop tolerating anything less than full alignment with your vision. This is not optional. This is non-negotiable. If you're serious about becoming the person you see in your mind, your environment cannot be accidental. It must be engineered with intention, with purpose, with fire. Because the world is noisy, the pressure is real, and your dreams are fragile in the wrong hands. Build a world so rooted in belief, so filled with power, that doubt dies the second it enters. Build a life where faith isn't a feeling, it's the foundation, and don't ask for permission. Don't wait for validation. You decide, you lead, you build, because the environment you build will build you back, and when it does, nothing can stop you. The game was never about waiting until you had it. The game was about showing up like you already do. You want the results? Then embody the identity. Walk like it, think like it, speak like it, move like it. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. The world responds not to who you wish you were, but to who you act like you already are. That's how you bend reality. You match your behavior to your vision before it's convenient, before it's confirmed, before it makes sense, and that's when things shift. Because belief becomes behavior. Behavior becomes habit. Habit becomes outcome. And outcome becomes identity. You don't attract success by needing it. You pull it to you by becoming the version of yourself that no longer chases it, because it already belongs to you. Act like it's already yours. Work like it's already done. Speak like the door is already open. Train like you're already number one. Carry yourself like you've already walked through the fire and came out forged. That energy rewrites the future. That attitude rewires the system. That mindset makes you dangerous. Because most people are waiting for signs. You move like the sign. Most people are waiting for proof. You become the proof. That's how legends are made. They don't wait for it. They walk in it. They breathe it. They act in full alignment with the future they've already decided to claim. This is your moment. No more delays. No more excuses. No more doubting what's already yours. You've seen it in your mind. Now match it with your motion. Burn the hesitation. Kill the second guessing. And live as if it's already done, because that's the only way it ever will be.